I mean, I can.
Stuff in your way. I'm not prepared.
All right, good evening. I'm going to call the meeting to order, the regular council meeting of January 26, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Aaron,
Here.
Councilman Fleming,
Here.
Councilor Giro,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Muir,
Here.
Councilor Rohrbach,
Here.
Councilor Wright,
Here.
Mayor Haynes.
Here. Everyone that is able to please stand, and Councilor Gerald is going to lead us in the invocation and pledge of allegiance this evening.
Please join me. We pray there we would have the eyes to see how our lives are all connected and how our common good is upheld when we listen and respond to those most vulnerable among us. We pray for wisdom, for strength, for courage to do what is right and good for all citizens. May we put the interests of others above our own. May we be good neighbors and act with love for the common good. We thank you for this council, our mayor, our city staff, our first responders, the DPS, especially in this crazy weather, and all those who work to make this place we call home such a wonderful city.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Tonight we will start with approval of the agenda. Are there any additions and or deletions to the agenda for this evening? Does anybody want to move to add the Historical Commission work plan to number 8?
Yes. I was just going to cover it when we got there, but yes. I think we had the same issue with the library as well. Yes, I'd make a motion to add the historical work plan to the agenda for tonight.
Okay, is there a second?
Your Honor.
Yes.
I
Councilor.
will, second.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I did notice that the library work plan was not included in the packet as well.
Okay.
I haven't received that, and that hasn't been sent to council, so we can add it
It
once,
has-
once all the council gets it to see.
Okay.
Okay, very good. All right, moving on to presentations. I'd like to introduce our city planner, Matthew Bonnerstatter.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm Matt Launerstetter, the city planner, and I'm excited and proud to present our successful Safe Streets grant application, which has been awarded to us by SEMCOG. Nope, I think I have to turn it on. That would help. We got it. All right, so just a little bit of history about this specific grant application. In September of last year, SEMCOG issued a call for projects announcing about $7 million in TAP funding. That stands for Transportation's Alternatives Program. And that would be for the fiscal year of 2027. These funds would provide funding for projects that are shovel-ready projects, which are aimed at improving the safety for pedestrians, walkers, bikers, and non-motorized transportation. City of Madison Heights, we jumped on it. We submitted an application in November of 2025, and we were awarded a grant application, or grant of $180,000 and $602. This is on top of a 20% local match, which is $45,000. The total project cost for our projects, which I'll get into, is about $225,000. The project covers about 4 RRFBs, that stands for Rectangular Rapid Flashing Beacon Systems, and I'll describe that a little bit later down in this presentation, and 2 mid-block mini traffic calming islands. The top are the RRFB, that is like a pedestrian crossing with a pedestrian activated light, and the bottom is a picture from Royal Oak, that is the mini traffic calming island. So this is a map of our project, the locations of our project. We have 4 RRFB, those rapid flashing beacons that we'll be installing, and we have 2 of the mini traffic islands. So 1, 2, and 3 are going to be our RRFBs. That's at the top left is Concord Drive. The top right is going to be Whitcomb. The bottom left is East 11 Mile. Those are where our flashing beacons are going to be. And then the bottom right that runs north to south, that is Wolverine. That is going to be our mini traffic islands. So how did we select these locations? Well, they were guided by the city's existing policies and plans relating to non-motorized transportation. First and foremost is our Southeast Oakland County Safety Action Plan. This was a multi-jurisdictional effort. Most of council was here when we did this, with the surrounding communities that had the aim of eliminating fatal and serious injuries on all the streets within the study area. So it was Madison Heights, Hazel Park, Ferndale, Oak Park, Berkeley, all the surrounding communities. This was supplemented by Madison Heights Vision Zero resolution, which was in 2024, which sets a goal to eliminate all traffic-related deaths by the year of 2045. Some other plans we had were the Madison Heights Master Plan that addressed non-motorized transportation, our 11-mile streetscape plan, which we recently completed the segment between John R. and Lorenz, as well as our people-powered transportation program. So just wanted to highlight, this map is from our Southeast Oakland County action plan, and this is called a high injury network map. And what this shows, the streets in red are the streets that have a high concentration of fatal or serious injury crashes. Madison Heights, again, on the top right, does have a significant number of streets. Actually, a lot of our north, south, east, west streets are included in that. And then a couple of the streets in our project and our grant application were also included in that, including Whitcomb, portions of Concord, and 11 Mile. So we were guided by this plan, among the other policies, to select locations that we think could reduce the impact of crashes, especially to those who are outside of a vehicle, who are the most vulnerable users of the road. Getting into the specific project locations and the project details, the rectangular rapid flashing beacon, which we have 4 locations for, or 3 locations and 4 sets of. These are flashing LED lights that are pedestrian activated, and they come like you buy it, but you have a crosswalk and an ADA ramp that allow for a safer crossing than if someone were to just cross the road without any signal or any type of notification to drivers. The Federal Highway Association, per study, they estimate that driver yielding rates where there are these RRFB systems are boosted by 98%, and these systems can reduce crashes by approximately 48% to those who are walking, and reduce the serious injuries and fatalities to those walking and biking by up to 48%. So the first location that we have planned for this is on Concord Drive. We actually have 2 planned for Concord Drive. This is between Whitcomb and 14 Mile, kind of around the Target there. You head north, which gets you to 14 Mile. We chose this location due to the large number of multifamily buildings and multifamily residential units in this area, and their proximity to other types of uses, commercial uses like Target, there's restaurants, there's a Oakland Mall up there. So being able to cross from one street to the other is very important in this area where you have a high residential density. This street segment also has 2 smart bus stops on either side. So being able to cross the street is very important. And right now, there is no signalized intersection, no stop sign anywhere along this segment of road. So this provides 2 mid-block crossings for those people. Top is the existing conditions, and the bottom is a little rendering showing what it could look like. Second location is just down the street on East Whitcomb. This is east of John R., between John R. and Harlow. So same type of deal. We do have multiple apartment complexes in this area, as well as a mix of uses, including commercial and light industrial on the north side. The islands as well, the existing median in the center provides kind of a natural opportunity for what's called a pedestrian refuge island. So people can cross one segment of road, wait for oncoming traffic to clear, and then cross the other segment of road. There's also several bus stops on John R. in close proximity, so this just gives another safe opportunity to cross the road. And then our last location for the RRFBs is on 11 Mile Road. And this is in our downtown district, the newly completed section between John R. and Lorenz. And as you know, a key element of a downtown area is the ability to attract people walking and biking and encourage people to get out of their cars. And to do that, you need to be able to get from one side of the road to the other. There are 2 lights, 2 signalized intersections in this segment between John R. and Lorenz. But between it, there's really nothing. There's intersections, but there's no cross or marked crosswalks. There's no opportunity for someone to press a button and cross. So that's what we're doing here is we're putting it kind of in the middle at Delton Street. So this gives people in the downtown area an opportunity to cross safely, to get from one side of the street to the other. And again, we do have 2 smart bus stops along this segment. So being able to get from one side to the other, one bus stop to the other is important here as well. Then getting into our second project type, this is called a mini traffic circle or a traffic calming island. This is a picture again from Royal Oak on one of their residential neighborhood streets that was recently completed. The intent of this type of project, this type of traffic calming project, is to slow down vehicle speeds. And in this case, it channels the vehicles to the opposite ends of the road, channels them around this island, which naturally slows speeds. We do have mountable curbs and mountable bollards. So an emergency vehicle, if they, for some reason, which we've measured it, they should be able to, but they can always hop that center island to get through if needed. The other thing that these islands do is that they act as a visual cue. They indicate, hey, this is a neighborhood. There are people that live here, that walk here, that ride their bikes here. You got to slow down. This is Wolverine Street, where we selected the location for it. And Wolverine Street is also indicated as a bike route. So you have sharrows on the road. So you do have people biking here. You do have people walking here. There are Madison School District bus stops along this stretch of street. But Wolverine Street's, if you look at it from this picture, it doesn't look that different from the rest of the neighborhoods in the city of Madison Heights. But what makes this different is that there are really no opportunity. It's a 3/4 mile stretch of road between 11 Mile and Gregg. And you have no stop signs. You have no intersections. So people driving can just fly right through here. So we have 2 of these mini traffic islands about 500 feet apart, and they're fairly close to one another so that you can't just get around one speed back up. You have to slowly make your way through it. But again, because this is a cut-through route, it's a straight road with very little, with really no stop signs, no opportunity for a vehicle to come to a slow down or stop. We thought this was a good opportunity to do a trial for this type of traffic calming device. Again, being this paired with a bike route, being it on a street that has bus stops, it's a good location for it. So again, we're very excited to get started on this. Anticipated construction start is in the spring or early summer of 2027, hopefully completion by the end of the summer in 2027. There are limited maintenance costs that we think can be handled by the Department of Public Services and handled through our Act 51 major roads funding as well. And again, we're excited. We're excited to get started, and we think that this project is going to help us take a big step forward towards making our streets safer for all users and everybody in the city of Madison Heights. Thanks.
All right, next up is Amy O'Leary, SEMCOG Executive Director, or not.
I'm not Amy O'Leary.
You are not.
I am in her place. So I'm
Very good.
Kevin Vitrano, I'm Planning Director for SEMCOG, and Amy does send her regards. Just have a couple of very brief comments. City Planner did an excellent job explaining the importance of this project. I just want to thank the city and the council for your participation in SEMCOG. As I hope you know, that SEMCOG is a council of governments with 186 local governments across the 7-county region, serving about 5 million people. A core function of SEMCOG is administration of transportation funding, including the TAP program. So whenever we see good projects, and the one that was just shared, we want to make sure that there's dollars available. And the TAP program is a federal program out of the current IIJA, Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. And one of the things we'd like to do with these funds is celebrate them. So today we do have a ceremonial check. And really what we want to get out is get out to the communities, share the importance of these dollars. They're going to projects that are impacting residents across the region and in cities and communities like Madison Heights. Historically, over the last 10 years, TAP region-wide has invested over $100 million in 160 projects. And I want to thank our allies and partners in Washington and Lansing. I know we've got representatives from Stevens' office, Haley Stevens' office, as well as Senator Slotkin's office here, as well as some of our state folks, Senator Stephanie Chang and Representative Mike McFall and Ann Erickson Gold from Oakland County Commissioner's County Commissioner from District 3. So just to wrap up, just thank you for participation in SEMCOG. So happy these funds are going to impactful projects, and I think we're ready to give a check away.
All right.
So usually we can just take photos up front, and if others want to join, if that's okay with you guys.
Absolutely. Okay, I want to thank SEMCOG for joining us this evening and for your continued partnership with the City of Madison Heights. This grant supports very tangible improvements that directly align with our mission to create a safe and connected community. As you heard this evening, with this funding, the city will install new pedestrian crossings with rectangular rapid flashing beacons on Concord Drive, East Whitcomb Avenue, and 11 Mile Road. We'll also be adding neighborhood traffic calming mini traffic circles on Wolverine Street. These improvements are focused on locations where people are already walking, accessing transit, visiting local businesses, and traveling to school, but where safe crossing options and speed management tools have been very limited. By slowing traffic, improving visibility, and enhancing safety, these projects move us closer to our goal of reducing traffic accidents and creating safer, more comfortable streets for residents of all ages and abilities. They also support our broader vision for walkable neighborhoods. I want to sincerely thank SEMCOG for investing in these improvements and for recognizing the importance of quick, effective safety solutions. I'd also like to thank our city planner, Matt Lonerstatter, I got it twice, and for recognizing, for his leadership on these projects, and our city manager, Melissa Marsh, who continually looks for innovative, proven ideas to bring back to Madison Heights to better serve our community here. We truly appreciate the partnership and the positive impact it will have on our residents and their neighborhoods. So thank you again. All right, next on the agenda is meeting open to the public. So we'll open the meeting to the public right now. Anybody that wants to speak can come up to the podium. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. And we don't have anybody that's moving towards the podium. So we will close public comment. Move on to the consent agenda. Tonight, we have 3 items that are on the consent agenda. The first being the City Council special meeting minutes of January 12th, 2026. The second being the City Council regular meeting minutes of January 12th, 2026. And the third item, proclamation recognizing International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Your Honor,
Yes.
motion to approve consent agenda as presented.
Okay, have a,
Your Honor, can we just, I want to
Yes.
have read the proclamation. That's the
Okay.
only request I have.
okay. So we have a request to read the proclamation, so I will have City Manager Marsh read that out loud.
International Holocaust Remembrance Day Proclamation. Whereas the Holocaust is a systematic state-sponsored murder of 6 million Jews by Nazi Germany and its collaborators. And whereas on January the 27th, 1945, the Red Army entered into Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp, liberating more than 7,000 individuals who were imprisoned there. And whereas just days earlier, the Schutzstaffel, I might have mispronounced that, commonly known as SS, forced nearly 60,000 prisoners to evacuate the concentration camp and embark on the infamous death marches, which took thousands of innocent lives. And whereas on November 1st, 2005, the United National General Assembly passed a resolution to designate January the 17th as International Day of Commemoration in memory of Holocaust victims, the day upon which the world will remember Holocaust and its victims each year. And whereas on International Holocaust Remembrance Day and throughout the year, we honor Michigan Holocaust survivors and liberators, and we further encourage all citizens to promote human dignity and positive human relations and equitable outcomes and opportunities in all aspects of community life. Now therefore be it resolved that the Honorable Mayor and City Council of Madison Heights do hereby proclaim January the 27th, 2026 as International Holocaust Remembrance Day in Madison Heights, Michigan. And be it further resolved that the Madison Heights City Council condemns Holocaust denial and distortion in all forms and recognizes the crucial role of education and remembrance in combating anti-Semitism, hatred, and intolerance.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. We still have a motion on the floor to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. There are no communications this evening, so we're up to reports. City Manager regarding Oakland Community Health Network Mental Health Co-Responder Program contract.
Council is asked to consider a proposed contract extension with the Oakland Community Health Network, or OCHN, for October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026. This contract covers Madison Heights' participation in a mental health co-responder program through an interlocal agreement with the cities of Ferndale, Hazel Park, and Royal Oak. This service provides mental health co-responding services to our residents. Oakland County's Board of Commissioners grant funding is covering the cost of this program through the duration of this contract. The Police Department and Administration recommend approval of the contract extension and Amendment Number 2 with the Oakland County Health Network for continuation of the co-responder program through September the 30th, 2026.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we proceed with the approval of the contract extension and continuation of the co-responder program as it provides valuable mental health support and improves outcomes for both residents and first responders.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Your Honor.
I'll second.
Your Honor,
Yes.
motion
City
should
Attorney.
include approval of amendment number 2 as well. Does the maker agree?
Accept.
Support?
I agree.
Okay, we have a motion and support. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I just would like to, our Oakland County representative is here, County Commissioner Ann Erickson Galt. I know she's been working hard to get this funding and keep this program going. I know our state representative is here as well, and health services are a big part of what his pushes are for as well. So I would just like to commend her on the work. I know she's fighting for us. She knows it's important to all of us, this co-responder program, what it means to our community. I know they both do. So I just want to acknowledge them both because I know that sometimes in fears they can catch some slack. So I just want to just give them some kudos for working, helping us get this fund. This program works. It helps. We need it. I want to see us keep taking steps towards having our own in-house co-responders, but budget restraints are a concern. So just kudos to them, and I'm supporting this 100% and think we need to get our own at some point, co-responders.
Okay, any other discussion?
Your Honor,
Oh, you can go ahead.
that was
Oh, I
me.
thought- Sorry.
Oh,
So, Your Honor, I have a question, if our Commissioner can speak upon it, about what will happen after September the 30th with the funding for this program. Do you foresee that it will continue on after the 30th, or we will have to go looking for fitting it into a budget in the middle of the year?
Well, I will do my best to answer that question. I'm not prepared with that information. My understanding is this funding is for our fiscal year, which runs from September 1st through August 30th, if I remember correctly, correct, or 31st. So I'm not sure, and I don't know, what is your contract year for this?
So the contract year is actually October the 1st through September 30th, 2026.
Okay. Okay, so I do not have an answer to your question, but I will do my best to get that. I will send it to City Manager Marsh to forward on to all of you.
Okay, thank you.
So assuming that there's not grant funding to carry us forward after September 30th, the city's portion would be around $26,000, assuming all the communities stay in the program.
Your Honor.
Yes.
And that's 26,000, provided the other three communities wish to continue as well.
Yes, and that covers the period from October the 1st of 2026 through June the 30th of, I think through June the 30th, 2027. So that's the amount of money we would need to put in our upcoming budget if funding doesn't get continued, which this will be the second year that Oakland County has funded this program.
So I appreciate you looking into that for us. I think, I'll speak for myself, I really wish to see this program continue. And have we started conversations with the other communities to see what their desire is beyond September? Or-
Yes, I talked to the other communities quite a bit. I think there's at least one other community that may pull out due to budget constraints if they have to fund it themselves.
Yeah, so the initial, when this program was first approved, I believe in '23, December of '23, the intention was for it to be a one-year funding with ARPA dollars, with the intention that the communities would eventually find their own funding for the program. Last year, during the budget talks last fall, it became clear to me that both this community and at least one other communities of the 4 communities were going to be struggling to find the budgeted funds in your own budget to pay for the program. And so I advocated for this line item to be put in our budget to tide you through another year. So beyond that, I cannot say for certain, but I will get an answer to your question.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I want to first just say thank you, because mental health is really a serious issue in our, not just in our community, but nationally. And it's very important to me. You know, I feel that I appreciate that we're responding with a lot of care and compassion when we're going out, and not recognizing and understanding that every time an officer is called, their enforcement is necessary. But what I would like to know is if you can just explain a little bit more, like, how are the teams deployed? What kind of training do the co-responders receive? And if we have any stats on how this program is helping, you know, within the communities.
So I actually can interrupt for that. That's OCHN, and so I can have them come to another council meeting, and they send us quarterly reports that I can send to council.
Okay.
Thank you, that's exactly what I was going to say, is that OCHN is the expert on this. And they're doing it not just for these 4 communities, they're doing it for the sheriff department, and there's several other communities in Oakland County that have co-responders that are trained and operated through OCHN.
Thank you.
Any other discussion from council? All right, the only thing I would add is to kind of go along with what Councilor Wright stated. This is an extremely, extremely valuable program. We here in Madison Heights actually started it many years ago when we first had our SIU and we were tackling the issue of human trafficking, and there was a grant that was obtained by Common Ground to assist us, and this has continued to blossom to where community mental health is now doing an absolutely sensational job. So I'm really hoping that Oakland County will take it serious and try to help the communities that maybe not be able to put in their budget, because as you know, and as everybody from Oakland County knows, there's never, a lack of things that we need to put in our budget. But this is very important. So I appreciate what you've done thus far. So thank you for all of that, and hopefully we'll be able to continue that in the future.
It's very important to me, and I will be advocating for continued funding. I cannot promise that that's going to happen, but I will be advocating for it.
Thank you. That's all we can ask. All right, any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. I'm going to go back to meeting open to the public. I'm going to reopen public comment as we have a letter that was sent in that the city clerk will speak to. So public comment is now reopened.
My apologies, I forgot to interject when you had the meeting open to the public. I just want to acknowledge that we did receive correspondence from resident Mary Harp, and that correspondence has been distributed to the council.
Okay, thank you, and we'll close public comment. And the next item on the agenda under reports is from the Director of Public Services, John R. Construction Contract.
The fiscal year 2026 budget includes accumulated funding for the rehabilitation of John R. Road from 11 Mile to Dartmouth. As this is a federally funded project, this establishes a partnership between the city and MDOT. MDOT subsequently requires a resolution of council accepting the funding agreement contract and authorizing its signatures by name. Although the contract is based on the engineer's estimate of $2,895,700, of which the city's portion is an estimated $1,541,151, bids came in well under the originally budgeted amount. Staff recommends that council approve the resolution approving participation in the construction funding agreement, contract 25-5600, and authorize Mayor Haynes and City Clerk Rotman to sign and execute on behalf of the city.
All right, thank you, Melissa. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move that council approves the resolution approving the participation in the construction funding agreement for contract 25-5600 and authorize mayor and clerk to sign on behalf of the city.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'll second.
All right, we have motion and support. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'm just going to say, I know that I can hear the cheers from across the city of Madison Heights for John R., and I know it's not enough, right? We have, this is 11 Mile to Dartmouth. We still have 11 Mile to 10 Mile to work on, but every step is a step in the right direction at this point. So I know we're all thrilled at it, but also the time frame where we're going to be working on the road, and we don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but it's also going to require everybody's patience while the road is under construction. So I just want to say I am celebrating with everyone and also bracing myself because I live right off the road too. So thank you.
Awesome. Any other discussion? Yes, sir.
Your Honor. I do also look forward to the repave of that section. However, my grandsons are going to be a little disappointed because they always think that we're on an amusement ride as we're going down. That's not going to be on our-
For sure.
But for the citizens, I'll sacrifice my grandchildren's excitement with driving down that road.
All right. Any other comments? All right, hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Next item is the Board and Commission 2026 work plans. City Manager?
So the work plans for the 2026 calendar year have been submitted for the following boards: the Arts Board, the Crime Commission, the Human Relations and Equity Commission, the Historical Commission, and there was a typo, it's not the Library Advisory Board, it should be the Environmental Citizens Commission. It is recommended that City Council approve the plans that meet their expectations. If plans do not meet council's expectations for the 2026 activity, it's recommended that those plans be sent back to the Board and Commission with your direction for revisions.
Okay. What is the wish of City Council?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'd like to
Councilor Ray.
make a recommendation that we move forward with the boards and commissions plans as presented. Work plans as presented.
Okay. Is there a second?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor.
Yes.
just To clarify, looking over them, they look great. So, I mean, I know obviously we can all say nitpick at what people are doing, but I just want to acknowledge all our volunteers putting in their time and effort. And, yeah,
course.
it looks great.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Your Honor, I just want to also say, I know that we have at least one member of the ECC here, and there may be others from other boards and commissions, so thank you for being here. And I want to reiterate the comment of thank you to, each one of these, there's 5 on the list here tonight. Each one has 5, 6, 10 people on it that are here in the city. So this represents a nice chunk of people from this city that have said, I'm going to give up my time, I'm going to give up my mental, my mental health sometimes, but also just my energy and the things that are important to me. I'm going to put that towards something that will help the city in a way that is meaningful to me. So not everybody is going to love every type of work that the city is going to do, but each person, I think, in the city can find something that they could put their time and effort into if they want to. And I want to recommend and to everybody who is interested in participating, even if you're not appointed to a board or commission, you can still attend every one of these board and commission meetings. They are open to the public. Attend, give your input, and be a part of some of these things. There are exciting things from the Arts Board and from HREC and the ECC. Everybody has things going on that are exciting for the city to be part of, and I really hope that if anybody's interested, obviously they can read these work plans and see what's on board. And I know for a fact that every single one of these boards and commissions want to do so much more that they could possibly put into these work plans, right? The work plans are usually like, okay, we don't want to promise too much, right? We want to do so much. We don't want to promise that we're going to do 3 million things. So we're going to say what we are absolutely going to try and get done this year. And if there's time, if there's ability, if there's the will of the people to participate and do more, I think those things we're able to do those. And so I just want to say again, thank you, and please invite the community to join in any way that they find meaningful for them. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Yes.
One clarification on the motion. In the commissions read by Ms. March, we listed the Arts Board, Crime Commission, HREC, and Environmental Citizens Committee, but we also added the historical work plan
Yes.
also. So is that council's intent?
Yes.
Is it your intent?
Maker and support agree?
Maker and support agree.
Yes.
Okay, anyone else? All right. Let's take our vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. All right, and the last item under reports, amendments to the fiscal year 2025-26 budget.
The state of Michigan's budget law requires that any budget amendments be approved by City Council. The budget amendments are submitted to ensure that the fiscal year 2026 budget is in compliance with state law. This mid-year budget amendment offers adjustments to align our fiscal plan with the current realities. The updates include adjustments for state revenue sharing reductions, information technology expenditures due to emergency fiber repairs, completion of the HVAC replacement projects at the police department, and grant receipts and expenditures for the purchase of public safety drone and gateway signs. If City Council concurs with the recommended amendments, the council should approve the implementation of these amendments and appropriate the necessary funds, and this requires a supermajority of council.
Okay, what is the wish of City Council?
Your Honor,
Yes.
make a motion that the city council approves the recommended amendments presented by the city manager.
Okay, is there support?
Your Honor,
Yes.
support.
All right, we have motion, support. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries. All right, that is all we have on the agenda this evening, so we'll move into closing comments. We'll start tonight with Councilman Sean Fleming.
I didn't know I was talking, no, I'm just joking.
Nice try.
Okay, so a few things that I have here, is the animal shelter is having a fundraiser on February the 3rd. It's going to be at the Coach Grill, the Coach Grill, which is on DeQuinder and 11 Mile, just south of 11 Mile. And it's going to be during it's on Tuesday and going to be during the daytime. And 10% of all the proceeds that they make that day are going to be given to the animal shelter. So I hope that people come out and give your support, because the animal shelter is really important for all the animals. A lot of them are returned to their owners, and our staff does a great job at the animal shelter. Let's see here. Also want to say that the council, a lot of people do not know this, but the council had a conversation about, not all together at once, but, we did discuss the snow. A bunch of us have discussed it on and off about advocating for changes for the snow removal. The policy right now is 4 inches of snow is when we declare an emergency, and also when we remove the snow. And anything below 4 inches, we haven't done so in the past. But I think that in the future, I hope to have conversations, maybe we can lower that down to 3 inches. I know that even 3 inches of snow has caused a lot of, traffic situations, accidents that we've had throughout the city and whatnot. So I hope that everybody can have patience while we figure out what's best for our DPS and our staff, and making sure that we clear the streets when they are dangerous, and also to make sure that you're driving safely and try to avoid accidents on the roads. I also want to make sure that on the snowy days that we've had, most recently, we just, plowed the streets, and trash day might be difficult to get your trash cans out onto the road. And so I had an incident where last week, the recycling people did not pick up my recycling bin at all because they said it was not close enough to the curb. So the recycling truck does come, and it has an arm that extends out. They do not have another person helping out, and they did not, so they weren't able to reach the reciprocal. So if you do have reciprocals and they're recycling or even trash, I would try to get them as close as possible. I know some people are removing the snow where their trash cans are going to be. Maybe your neighbors could help out, but that's what we're going to have to do for now. And I did call, and the Priority Waste did send somebody back, and they did a great job of coming back and picking up people's receptacles that were missed due to the snow. So just to let you know that they're working with us to do that. I had a couple other things here. I've also been advocating for signage on westbound 11 Mile. I know that a lot of people, we have a lot of people that commute throughout the city, not that people that don't even live here, and they're still surprised when they get here about the merge. There's no signage there. So I've been working with our city manager to make sure that we get a sign that's probably between the high school and Hales on the west side of the street, going westbound from DeQuinder, that there's a merge sign there that lets you know that the merge is coming, and that you have time to merge before we have an accident that happens there in the middle of 11 Mile. So I am advocating for you there. Finally, I want to say we just had the proclamation for recognizing the International Holocaust Remembrance Day. And I want to say that there's a lot of current events that are happening right now, and there's a lot of people that are making a lot of comparisons, not just now, but in the past. We've had a lot of people make comparisons of current events that are happening at that time, and comparing them to what's happened to the survivors and those victims of the genocide and atrocities of the Holocaust. And so I ask that people are respectful and always remember not to forget the victims and the survivors of the Holocaust. And so with that, I'm going to work with the Historical Commission that I'm on to put together a trip to the Holocaust Center in West Bloomfield so that people can actually see the atrocities. It's really difficult to see them personally as a Jewish person, and also anybody else who sees them. They could be really, triggering for emotions that are held for years to come after you visit the Holocaust Center. I remember going there when I was a small, young boy to the Holocaust Center, and I will never forget going there. So that's what I'm going to be working on with the Historical Commission, and later on this year, there'll be a trip going, and you'll know the date later on. That's it for today.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Gerald?
I've already acknowledged, as others have too, the amount of work that the DPS did this weekend for the weather. There are two other things I'd like to acknowledge regarding the crazy cold that we've been having. One of them is the food pantry on Saturday ended up doing a quick get people through to protect the people who have to wait in line and the volunteers as well, by giving them just limited food boxes and not being able to give them extras like we usually are able to. And when a lot of food pantries were closed, they continued to do that, which was amazing. They then, the city had opened the fire department to be a warming shelter. They had 7 adults who took advantage of that over the weekend, and we're very appreciative of having the warm, safe space during the bitter weekend. The food pantries send over extra fresh produce that they had, and then 2 donors gave water and other food items, and then another resident donated some games to help them pass the time. So it's uplifting to live in a community that supports people in need.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Rohrbach?
I said most of my comments, I think, during our actual meeting tonight, but I also want to say thank you to DPS and all the staff for the hard work, extra work that comes with late night snow and things falling onto the road and various things happening around here. So I thank you for that work and your diligence there. I appreciate that we got this SEMCOG grant. It's frustrating that it's not until 2027 that we're going to see, but it's how it is, I guess. Things move slowly in government sometimes, but I'm excited because the idea of working towards safer streets is what is the point of this. We want our residents to be safe. We want people who cross the street to be safe, and there's only so much that a city can do, that a police department can do, that we can do to calm the streets, because the calm also needs to come from the driver behind the vehicle. We need to all take responsibility, especially on these snowy roads, to take our time, slow down when we're approaching stop signs and when we're turning onto streets, especially when it's slippery. I just really encourage everyone to do that. But then I know the speeding down the roads, I'm really hopeful that these things will actually help reduce those speeds, and that will be something that we can implement beyond these 4 areas that we're looking at, because I know every single person in every single neighborhood will tell you, well, everybody speeds down my street. So finding ways that we can calm that traffic and the speeding is going to be important for us in the future. And finally, my question about that is, especially for the Wolverine
portion, I want to make sure that we are being really careful about communicating with residents because it's going to disrupt the actual roadway. And so I just want to make sure that we are, have a good plan for communication with residents during that time. Thank you.
Okay. City Clerk?
I just want to let all the registered voters in the city know that they're going to be receiving new voter identification cards. This is due to two reasons. One is because our state senate district number has changed. That's being implemented for this current year, election year. So everybody's state senate district numbers have changed. In addition, the city also has consolidated voting precincts. So your precinct number might have changed and your voting location might have changed. So make sure that you hold on to your voter ID cards, but this information will also be available on the city's website. Thank you.
Thank you. Move to the other end. Councilwoman Aaron?
Oh, you did it differently. Okay.
We'll come
I'm
back.
just waiting my turn. Well, I don't have much. I just want to just remind everybody, I don't know how many people know, but the library is doing a I Love the Library bookmark contest, and it's for all of our youth. And the deadline to submit your entry is January 31st, so, you know, it's something fun that the kids can do. The voting will be taking place on February 14th. And, yeah, if you're not doing anything, it's snowy outside, have your kids do some arts and crafts and get those bookmarks in. And that's all I have. Oh, well, I guess I could, as everyone else has already stated about DPS, you know, it is the 4 inches. It has been some contention with residents in the city saying that, you know, what measures 4 inches, what measures 3 inches. So maybe if we could get it down, having a new driver on the road, it is imperative for me that we do slow down. My son was sequestered in the house, pretty much unable to drive for probably the last week. And he's telling me, Mom, I got my car in the winter, but last winter it wasn't like this. So you will not be driving on the roads until they're clean. And he does not like that, so. But I do want to applaud DPS for the work that they did over this, you know, the last 24 hours. Our roads do look great in comparison to some of the other cities. So thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I'll keep this short. As everyone else said, the trouble with the snow that I see in this instance is it just keeps snowing.
Yes.
It won't quit. So we get 2 inches today and then 2 inches tomorrow. And so, yeah, that wasn't 4 inches, but now we've got 4. So it's just, please, tell it to stop snowing. But it's not. We're supposed to have more snow this week. So kudos to DPS for covering that. Hearts in the Parks is coming up. I know it's hard to think about that with the snow. We got a lot of wonderful programs that our rec department and our library, that they do throughout the winter. So get out there and do some snowshoeing in our parks and find the hearts. A big thank you to the SEMCOG and all our representatives that are here. Like we've reiterated, our safe streets are a big priority for us here. So I also want to mention through a shout out to, I had the honor, along with Mayor Haynes, to present Dave and Beverly Hughes with their 70th wedding anniversary proclamation. Wednesday is their 70th anniversary. They were married on January 28th, 1956. The next day, they moved into their home on Alger, and they've lived there ever since. So it was absolutely fantastic to be able to be part of that celebration and be there. So thank you, Mayor Haynes, for including me. And that's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilor Wright?
Thank you, Your Honor. Just fantastic work with the SEMCOG grant, Melissa and staff. Our grant writing has been like hands above anyone. I mean, it's been the best, so kudos on getting that done. I will just speak for our friends and neighbors on Dartmouth and Parker to see if we can just keep working on a solution for them. I know there was some consternation around double C's and, you know, that kind of is working the way it worked out, but We gotta address their problem. I was hopeful that they would get one of those mini rounds, and maybe we can do it in the future, but I just still wanna keep advocating for them. And, finally, I wanna just address our residents, the audience, folks on YouTube, and, there's no secret what's kinda going on, like, around the country in certain areas, and I know we all feel a sense of, I don't know how to describe it, but we'll just say is helplessness and not being able to do anything. And so to that, I'll just say a quote from, a paraphrase from Martin Luther King, which is, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." So remember to be kind and remember to be good.
Okay, City Attorney.
No comments this evening, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Manager Marsh.
Just a few quick things. I've been asked to address some hot topics that have come up since the last council meeting. So with that, of course, the number one hot topic has been the snow emergency, which we heard here tonight, and I will be meeting with the DPS. I think they did a fantastic job, but we do need to talk about our snow emergency process because snow events have changed drastically over the past probably 10 to 15 years just due to the weather. In addition to that, you all heard that John R. Participation Agreement got approved tonight, so yay for that, and that project is starting in the spring of 2026. And then DeQuinder Road, we get a lot of complaints about that. It is not a Madison Heights or even Oakland County road. It's owned by Macomb County, but Madison Heights is participating with Macomb County on a grant application by offering our support and letters of our elected officials for support of a grant application for DeQuinder Road. So fingers crossed that the federal government will help pay for part of that for now. And I do want to say one other special thank you in addition to the DPS. We did have the warming shelter that Lori Gerald's talked about. We had to close that because we had training already planned for that room. But one of our firefighters, Matt Servio, took it upon himself to find places for these individuals to go and to arrange transportation for them. So thank you very much for going above and beyond.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'll probably be a little repetitive, but I'll try to make it short and quick. Anyway, I want to give congratulations to Jinjia and Jeremy Patterson on their wedding today here at City Hall. It was the first wedding I got to officiate, so it was pretty amazing. I'm very proud to do that, and congratulations to them. As Mayor Pro Tem Muir had stated earlier, congrats again to Dave and Beverly Hughes on their 70th wedding anniversary. What an awesome time and what an awesome couple. I mean, they have done so much for the city of Madison Heights, and they were actually the very first house on that block when they moved in the day after their wedding, and they've been there ever since, and just a great tribute to our community. So that was fantastic. Snow removal by DPW was fantastic, as it normally is. I want to give a reminder, though, to some of to the businesses, just to make sure your contractors are not plowing snow into the street. That makes it more difficult for our plows, and it's also against our ordinances to do so. And also make sure that you're not pushing your snow in one parking lot to somebody else's parking lot or driveway. Because unfortunately, that seemed to happen quite a bit with this snow over the weekend. So your help with that would be greatly appreciated. Melissa mentioned about DeQuinder south of 14. It is actually, I know this is hard to say, but it's actually worse in that small section than it even is on John R. south of 12, which is hard to believe. But it will actually rattle your teeth right out when you go through there. So we have been in contact with Macomb County, and although, we have supported the grant and we've done some letters to hopefully they will get a grant to do from 14 all the way down to, I believe, 8 Mile. That takes time, as has been said here tonight. Wheels of government sometimes move very slowly. So any grant that they do get will probably be a couple years down the road before we see it come to fruition. But it needs to be something done before that. So we've been in contact with Macomb County, and we know that they are well aware of it, and they are going to come out and take another look and see what we can do as we get towards the spring when they can do stuff with roads. And lastly, again, thank you to Melissa and the fire department and for everybody that assisted with the warming center. It was very important that we had somewhere for people to go, whether they were without a home to go to or whether they were without power. Anything can happen, and it was great that we were able to have a space for them to come, that they could feel safe and they could be warm, and do that here in our city. So Again, thank you for all of that, and with that, I will adjourn the meeting at 7:30.